simple. I shouldn't have to go into that. What's another consequence? Anybody? Guilt. Yes, the guilt. Like, I let my parents down, I let God down, I let myself down. It's just, there's guilt, and then with that, it's like, is this person going to go out and talk and gossip? It's just, it's craziness. What's another consequence? Yes. Yes, sexually transmitted diseases. The gift that keeps on giving. Now, they changed, I still use the word STDs, but in America, they changed it to STIs. Sexually transmitted infections. Because it doesn't sound as bad, right? Because if I'm all up in your face and everything, and I'm all like, and then you ask me what's wrong, and I say, oh, I got a little infection. Does that sound as bad as if, and ask me what's wrong?
What's wrong?
Oh, I got a disease. What sounds worse? Right? A disease. So we got to put it in truth's clothing, right? It's the same thing. All right, don't be fooled. Y'all better read the package. You better wake up, okay? A sexually transmitted infection is a sexually transmitted disease. Don't be fooled. Okay, so STDs, pregnancies, I can go along because there are legal consequences. There are financial consequences, as you know, health consequences of all types, pregnancies. Then there is not the emotional, the psychological, all of that. Don't have time, we gotta move on. Now, the option number 2, if you decide that you're gonna wait until you get married, you're gonna zip it up, lock it down, clank, clank, okay? You're gonna be on clank until you say, I do. Then there are consequences to that, and what is it? What are some of the consequences? Anybody? You decide you're gonna wait until you get married. Give me some consequences, come on now. Yes. That's a consequence, yeah, but let's talk of negative consequences, okay? That's to say, consequence of hard work is I get a paycheck. That's not really, that's like a benefit, okay? So, stigma, people will tease you, you a virgin, okay, what's another consequence? I'm like, is that all you got? Give me something, come on. You lose some friends. Were they really your friends? Yeah, they were frenemies. Friends who are enemies, okay. And let's just weigh the consequence. Is there really any comparison between these two? No. Okay, so we went to the first step in decision making is know your options and know your consequences. Second step in decision making is make a decision. Let me hear you say, make a decision. Okay, so you're gonna make a decision. Now, if you choose option number 1, you decide you're gonna go out and have sex. You gotta and you made that decision. You've made the decision that there's consequences. You're gonna participate in something that usually people encourage you to do. Now, let me take a step back here. There is a saying that, and you guys know these lies in Truth's Clothing. All 12 of them you know. How did I come up with these 12 lies? Because I used to run the National Abstinence Association. And what it is it's the largest clearinghouse of abstinence educators in the United States. And actually they have a lot of affiliates in Africa, Asia, India, and different places. And what they do is we found what are the common reasons, the most common reasons, these dozen common excuses people give for why they should just go ahead and have sex. And you know a lot of these, okay? Now, a famous man once said, if you tell a big enough lie and you repeat it over and over and over again over a long enough period of time, people will begin to believe that that lie is the truth. Anybody want to guess who this famous man was? Just throw out a name. Who do y'all think? Who do you think said this? Not Donald Trump. He does it, but I'm just saying. Okay, the guy is Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler said, you tell a big enough lie and you repeat it, people will begin to believe it's the truth. Okay? And this first lie you guys know, and it's called safe. I told you knew it. You already know. They're going to tell you to practice safe sex. Now, I'm just going to jump in. There's no such thing as safe sex. That is the truth. That is the naked truth. But how did we get there? I actually had the opportunity to testify before the Senate, United States Senate, on teen pregnancy prevention. And I had to debate the Surgeon General. This is supposed to be the top doctor in America, in which I had to debate her on the issue. And I went into there, and I actually did, after doing the research and having these doctors that I consulted with, when I was running this program, and I said, gentlemen, how come young people are not being told the truth about safe sex? Because when I look in the dictionary under the word safe, safe is defined as something that is free from harm, something that is free from injury, and something that is free from danger. Now, if I put sex next to the word safe, it implies that you can have sex that is free from harm, sex that is free from injury, and sex that is free from danger, okay? Now, let me just throw these things at you, and I'm going to ask you if this is safe. If you look on the back of a condom packet, first of all, it doesn't say it's FDA approved. What is FDA? FDA means Federal Drug Administration. That means they test all of the, supposedly all the vaccines, all the medicines, even Band-Aids, even things that you would say, that has to be approved by the FDA. Cough drops, approved by the FDA, okay? And that tells us that it's safe. You will see on no condom where it will say approved by the FDA. Okay? And then they tell you these failure rates. Oh, it's actually works 99% of the time. How do they come up with that number? They come up with this number as they take these condoms, they put them on these little machines, and they fill them up full of water. And out of 100 condoms, 1 or 2 might break, so they say it's 99% effective. But I don't know about you guys, but no one buys condoms to make water balloons. That's not how they're used, okay? And so in the real world, condoms fail about 12 to 15%. Now, if you do that over a course of a year, and you're using condoms, we're talking about 36% of the time they fail. That means 1 in 3 times they're going to tear, leak, break, someone gets pregnant. Let me say pregnant. Pregnant. Condoms were only designed to prevent you from getting pregnant, not an STD. As a matter of fact, it actually says condoms may prevent the transmission to reduce the risk of getting pregnant, and it might say STDs and HIV. So may and might and may, does that mean safe? That means it might. I mean, if I were to give you a parachute and have you jump out of a plane, I said, well, it might open. I don't know. Would you put it on? Okay. There's more I can say about that. Got a book called The Naked Truth, reworking it. As a matter of fact, if you can hold that one, pull it up. It says that one. Yeah, let me give that one. I don't have it today, but hopefully I want to be able to have a digital copy so you guys can download it soon. It's called The Naked Truth About Sex, Love, and Relationships. This is a different cover, but for all intents and purposes. I got to move on because that's the first lie in Truth's Clothing. So, I got to give you this tidbit. After I finished testifying, I went across town and I drove to my mentor. She was a lady who ran the Title 20 program. That's the program that oversaw all of the teen pregnancy prevention programs in the United States. And I said, Pat, how is it that they know these condoms are not safe? Okay, but they continue to distribute them to young people, and they have these campaigns. She says, let me tell you, I just got done talking to a public official, an elected official. If I said his name, you would know it, even if he was in America. And this elected official told her, look, Pat, abstinence, yeah, we know that works. When you abstain, there's no way you can get an STD. There's no way you can get pregnant. But, we're going to tell them, to practice safe sex because abstinence is an upper-class white value. This is a quote. Because these little black kids in poor white trash, they're like horny rabbits and they're going to screw anyway. What does that say about the mentality about you? This is not a rhetorical question. I need participation. What does this say about you? I can't hear you. Come on, speak up. They don't care about you. Why? Because you're like an